Welcome again, Taurus, and I guess Christmas greetings are in order. December 2016. I just wanted to firstly thank you for those of you that have been regular visitors here and listening to my monthly overviews. Thank you for your support. For those of you that are new, although it's late in the year, Merry Christmas to you, and I hope you'll be joining us again in the new year for these brief but hopefully useful insights into your horoscope based upon your sun sign. But if you happen to know your moon sign or your rising sign, you can apply these readings equally to those particular horoscope maps. The dominant theme right now, well, there's a couple there in your horoscope. We see the transit of Mars in your 10th house continuing with its drive and energy to give you an immense amount of power in your professional arena. And you can use that, that's leverage for you, but you do have to be careful that you're not steamrolling others in your desire to achieve your objectives right now. Because Mars is a rather militant planet, and coupled with that, we do see the recent new moon taking place in your 8th house. There's 4 planets there. There's Mercury, the Moon, Saturn, and the Sun. Well, of course, they're not all planets, but just for ease of communication, those 4 planets give considerable weight to that area relating to shared resources, financial resources. And the new moon, obviously, if you've been here before, I've talked about how this tends to bring forth a whole new energy, I guess a turning of the page, a new chapter in your life. So new methodologies or ways of dealing with financial issues, particularly those that are shared with other people. If you're married or in a business partnership, that's the area that this particular new moon will take place in. And it's a little bit difficult because it's occurred right next to the planet Saturn, and the month commences with that rather cooling aspect. It can be a little somber, it can be a little down, so you need to maintain optimism. There may be some things you're not happy about in your relationships, and if you watch the opening video where I'm talking about choices or the forks in the road of life, this is one such area in your life where you now may have to make some serious decisions, some choices as to how you deal with the people in your life, how you share your resources with those people. Maybe you've zipped your lips and not spoken about how uncomfortable you feel in terms of the habitual way you share those resources. Now is the time for you to talk and to possibly, swing the balance back in your favour. Because every relationship really is more or less about leveraging, isn't it? So I think the ending of this year and the commencement of 2017 is going to see a lot of energy devoted to sorting those types of things out. We also see your ruling planet Venus is in the 9th house. That also moves to the 10th house very early in the piece on December 8th. So along with that dynamic Mars, we see the softer ruling planet for you moving into the same area. That's going to bring with it an ease, a bit more sociability in the way you're conducting your business. And that's probably a welcome relief. You've probably been hammering away at it, probably trying to get things finished towards this end of the year. But now is the time to relax. And once that transit occurs, you'll see that things are going to be easier. Notwithstanding the fact that, as I can see here, on the 10th, there's that very powerful exact conjunction of the Sun and Saturn. And the Sun for you rules your 4th house of domestic affairs, real estate, real assets, and the planet of responsibility, Saturn, is showing us just that in that 8th house of shared resources. So there may be some discussions or some additional responsibility you take on, but fortunately you have your ruling planet Venus moving in that 10th house of the horoscope, which should make things, number one, easier in terms of your emotional and social interactions, but also it is quite a lucky planet, bringing with it opportunities to uplift yourself in your work and to maybe gain that extra money that you're looking for, if it is additional responsibilities that are occurring. I'm just taking a look at the time here, and I've forgotten where the clock is, so I guess it doesn't matter. What's time anyhow, he says. Let me look here at some of these other aspects. Mars does make a move from that powerful 10th house to the fulfilling 11th house, and that takes place on December 19th. So just leading up to Christmas Day, this is excellent, giving fulfillment. And the 11th house has a lot to do with social interaction. So this is really going to be, I believe, for you, a pretty interactive Christmas, a lot of activity with friends, a lot of networking, and also because later on it will make contact with Ketu, or what we call the South Node, which is the past karma point. It's quite likely you're going to see the emergence of a lot of old faces, a lot of old friends, reunions, that type of thing, which is really going to give you a lot of joy throughout this festive season. Your work is still pushing you down with Jupiter in the 6th house. That is going to continue for some time longer. The 6th house has to do with your work and your health. I've talked about this a few times. At this stage of the year, just shut down, take it easy and enjoy the Christmas festivities, because I believe that you need it. And with that sociable sort of Mars coming into the picture, I think that's going to push you in that direction and finally give you the opportunity to just sort of put your work aside for a while and really focus on that. Some nice aspects on and leading up to Christmas Day, the trine aspect of Saturn, the conservative planet, your best planet actually, in trine to Uranus, showing a nice balance and blending of your conservative instincts with those progressive desires. And then Venus, your ruler, trining Jupiter, beautiful for gift giving and gift receiving. This could be a really surprising Christmas for you, given that that aspect is happening on or about Christmas Day. Don't be too wasteful. There's what we call a sesquiquadrate, which is a 135-degree aspect between Mars and Jupiter, showing that you're likely to really push yourself to the limit, spend more than you can afford, simply for the sake of keeping up with the Joneses. Don't do that. The conjunction of Sun to Mercury is great for communications around the 29th. And Uranus, the progressive one, moves stationary direct in your 12th house of spiritual insights. So a lovely end to the year. And I do hope you're going to join me for more for 2017. I'll be back same time, same channel. In the meantime, pop in at astrology.com.au. Find out all the other stuff there on yourself, monthly, yearly, daily readings. We've got the private readings, if you prefer that, for the upcoming year. And I do look forward to seeing you again shortly. Do have a safe and happy Christmas. Take care now.